There we go. Are we back, Wally? Can you tell me? Testing, Wally. Testing. Nope. Can you hear me, Wally? Can someone please let me know if I am unmuted? Yes! Thanks. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Wally. God, I'm so technologically special. Where's producer Bob when you need her? Let's start this conversation again. So, it is 6:15 a.m. in Australia. Woke up not long ago, gets an email. Hello, thank you, Knowing the Truth. And I get an email. You might want to have a look at one of Lloyd's. I'm cleaning my oven, which is... Wally, you need to get one of those pyro ones. You know, the rich people have the fancy ones. You turn them up to like 200 and they clean themselves. But anyway, until then, we'll all... thanks, Yvonne. Until then, we'll all just have to manage. I think the Unwitness is actually joining us at some point, but he's probably brushing his hair, unlike something that I have done because it's bed hair and pajamas day. So anyway, getting back to the point. The point is that I was, enjoying my morning coffee, and I get an email from somebody who shall remain nameless, and I don't hear from this person very often. So I thought, that's interesting. You need to watch Lloyd's video. That's what the email says. And I'm like, what? I don't watch Lloyd's crap. Anyway, and then they wrote, it's bad. And I thought, oh, God, what's Lloyd done now? So anyway, off I go. Funnily enough, the video is called Things Are Bad. They were trying to tell me, but anyway, too dumb. So anyway, I start watching this video and I'm like, really? All right then. And then I thought, you know what? It's going to be fun. I'm going to do this as a live stream react because I got some things to say just in case anyone was surprised to hear that I have something to say. So mind the bed hair, mind the pajamas. I do have my pajamas on. And let's watch it together. I'm not that fancy. I don't have an introduction. So if you just want to imagine some fancy song words in their head, hey, Ryan, then we can. But look at this. Check this out. Ready?
Hello, viewers. This is going to be a tough video to make, as you can see.
Okay, I'm just going to have to work with the sound here because I've not... Sean, what do you want to know? Yes, he can. Please tell us. I don't know. Anyway, can someone please let me know in this if they can hear the video in the live stream?
From the title, things aren't looking rosy at the moment for the channel. I have to tell you that we have made the decision to get out of Ramacro.
Anyone?
We can't afford to rent premises anymore, rent a studio. It would be the easiest thing in the world to just say, hey, we're moving out of Ramacro, but don't worry, we're moving somewhere better and all that kind of thing. But I always try to be honest with you.
Yeah, Wally, I have a vacuum for I have to vacuum it. Can you set up a GoFundMe to pay for it? Yes. Can you hear the video? So can you see the video? Oh. Here comes trouble with a capital J. Unmute yourself. Joel.
Okay, that's better.
We're professionals here.
Hey.
I cannot hear you. Okay, thanks, Ryan.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, how are you, Kim?
Are you quiet? Can you make yourself louder? I don't know how to do that.
All right. How's this?
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Yes. So, welcome, Joel.
Hey, Kim.
I was just telling everybody that I've had a morning. I've had a few technical issues. Everyone in the chat's been helping me out because I'm shit. How are you today?
Oh, I'm good. I've been working on some work stuff and just turning and burning. Oh, yeah.
Turning and burning. Love it.
I want to read something here. I took a screenshot of.
Go hard.
Just a note. I am automatically and unashamedly deleting all abusive, mean, toxic, victim-blaming comments along the lines of, get a job! It's all your fault anyway. Those who look to drop those sorts of comments just quit being creepy and subscribing to channels they don't like. I want to sincerely thank everyone who has left positive comments. I can't do this. I'm not even gonna try to. And who gives? I'm sorry. And who gives a damn about what? Look, if you give a damn about what I do, you're gonna pay me. If you give a damn about it. Wow. I love how he's like. The way that he frames these arguments, he says that he says things like, well, the defamation campaign has failed and it's continuing to fail against me. But so he calls it he sums up what happened last year as a defamation campaign, and then says that it fails, right? So if you say, wait a minute, that's not what happened, you're like, what do you mean it? So you're admitting it was a defamation campaign? It's just this is sad. I'm watching this. I got like 4 minutes in, and I'm just like, what are we even watching here? Like he's saying that he hasn't lost, but here he is begging for his Patreons and saying that I don't get it. Like this is like, didn't he just go on vacation a couple of weeks ago? Like, didn't he just like, what is it, Lloyd? Like, are you broke, or do you have enough money to jolly vant around and go on vacation? Right? Like, what is it? And am I a bad person for being like, wait a minute, hang on, this guy lives his life on permanent vacation, and he's talking about not having enough money? Like, well, what is it? Like, did Tibor get sacked? Did that finally happen? Has that happened yet? Is Tibor still a thing? No, Tibor is. But he's like really close to Armageddon. Okay, so it's like any day now. We're officially in the last days of Tibor, everyone. Oh,
do you know what? I actually have the video lined up. Do you want to watch it with me?
Let's do it. Oh, it's fun. Oh boy.
If you want me to stop, just yell stop.
Wonderful. I'm sorry. No, I needed a break anyways, so this is very welcome. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to turn my feet off and get some water. Give me just a few seconds. Okay. Can you turn my feet off?
Okay.
All right. Just a second. This is fun. Thanks for having me on.
Always. So just to answer a few questions in the chat. Yes, it is on double time. I'm sorry. I know, Wally, I should slow it down, but I'm not, because I cannot tolerate listening to his voice. It's like a 17-minute video that takes 2 minutes to say, and I can't cope. So we're watching it in fast forward. If you want to watch it in slow forward, feel free to jump over onto his channel later and watch it, because I am not doing that. So just explain, Joel, we're in double time because I can't listen to him in normal time. Okay, be ready?
Yeah.
Going. Hang on.
Hello, viewers. This is going to be a tough video to make. As you can see from the title,
it's a little too
things
fast.
aren't looking rosy at the moment for the channel. I have to tell you that we have made the decision to get out of
slow down just a little bit?
We can't afford to
slow down just a little bit. No.
Come on, man. You make my life hard.
You don't have to.
You don't have to watch it. Hang on.
I gotta see just a little bit.
Okay, tell everybody something funny that's been going on lately, Joel, while I do this.
Something funny that's been going on. I don't know. Have you guys seen the news lately?
Are you not allowed to talk about the T word?
The T word? Is there a live chat? Is there a live chat?
Yes, there is a live chat. Oh. They're all saying hi.
Is there a way for you to put that on the main screen, or? Okay, so
the chat.
All right, let's rehash here. It's 2:00 in the morning in Sydney, Australia, and here I am here in the geographical center of the United States, and things are bad. Kim Silvio, things are bad. The bat signal has gone. I'm sorry. Is the bat signal gone up? I'm sorry. Like, I can't. Sorry. Something about the blonde hair. Just I can't take this seriously. Like, it's so embarrassing. Okay. Can I just, at the risk of can I just like tell you something here? Okay, so it's embarrassing that okay. Uh, this all started when like Lloyd officially associated the XGW thing with with with, with It's insane. I mean, you're asking me for something funny. You put me on the spot. That's not how it works. Run DMC actually complained of the same thing. You know, it's I guess just a curse when you run across a genius at his craft and you say, "Rap for me, Run DMC," and Run DMC is on a like, "Hey, wait a minute. I know I'm wearing my Adidas, and you just caught me here on the sidewalk, but I'm not just gonna start rapping for you." And I feel like Kim, that's kind of what you've done to me here when you say, "Hey, I got something to do. Here's the spotlight that I did not ask for. Be funny." So I'm trying to play your game, but I don't want to. So I'll do it anyway. But I don't know. No, it's. I'm sorry. I don't know. It's. I guess. Very reminiscent of everything we've ever heard of. I don't know. This thing is so bizarre because here's this guy and he's like living out like the Watchtower stereotype, like that whole character arch, right? Now he's entered blonde hair zone, and here he's been busted with a bunch of I can't even say the words, right? But it's like here's this guy, but it's embarrassing as shit, right? This shouldn't have happened, and for him to just he complains about he doesn't want people victim blame. He sees himself as a victim. What do you mean victim
Mhm.
blaming, dude? What are you talking? We can take this apart. Like I'm looking for it because I'm so, okay. I will try to behave myself, Kim, because like I so badly want to just like, but I want to like really let's dissect this and look at this from a couple of different angles here. Because this is so manipulating, like how he talks to people. Like I'm watching this and I'm like, this is like he's if I didn't know better, it's like is he gunning for like a job with the governing body? Like, does he want to work at JW Broadcasting that bad that he's like, does he practice this in the mirror in the bathroom in the morning? Like, this is so strange. Oh, this is so strange. Like, this is wow. This is the guy that people were afraid of criticizing for years, by the way. I just want to remind everyone things are bad. How bad are they, Lloyd? 6.1K views 3 hours ago. And by the way, this is an absolute fact. Lloyd, we know you buy your subscribers. Like anybody can go to Social Blade and see like those spikes, 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 spikes. Dude, we know that you're full of shit. You buy your subscribers. Let's just be real here.
He does, I
Oh,
think, in my
it's proof.
opinion.
No, there's no other explanation.
Can you see this?
Yeah. So here we have a guy who's about to start complaining about life a lot.
This is going to be a
I'm so impressed with myself because I just want to tell everybody why I actually screen recorded it so that I could fast forward it and play it in fast forward, but now everybody wants it in normal time. So I'm like, shit, what am I going to do? So on the fly, I've had to work out how to share my screen so everyone can see it on live. Are you impressed with that? I'm pretty impressed with myself.
Pressure makes
Producer Bob, eat your heart out.
pressure makes diamonds.
All right. Thank you for the infill. Sorry, everybody. Let's go through again, Joel. Tell me when to stop. You ready?
Yeah, I'm just getting the live chat. I'll be there in a second. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Hello, viewers. This is going to be a tough video to make. As you can see from the title, things aren't looking rosy at the moment for the channel. I have to tell you that we have made the decision to get out of Ramacro. We can't afford to rent premises anymore, rent a studio. It would be the easiest thing in the world to just say, hey, we're moving out of Ramacro, but don't worry, we're moving somewhere better, and all that kind of thing. But I always try to be honest with you. We're moving out because we have to. We are scaling down production
He always tries to be
at
honest.
the Lloyd Evans channel. Now,
just the little fillers
So-
that he uses drive me up the wall.
The thing is that he's making a big deal about moving out of Ramaco. Like, yeah, okay, but everybody has either seen or knows of a video that he has made in his bedroom, in the park. You know, we're going back years, but he's always done videos in his bedroom, in the park, in his lounge room. What's the big deal? If Ramaco goes, Ramaco goes. I know a YouTuber who's got like 4 times the amount of viewers that he has. And they stream from their bedroom every night.
I'll tell you what it is, though, is that Lloyd has himself convinced that the BBC doesn't want to talk to people like that. Lloyd has himself convinced that the BBC wants to talk to people with the green screen, with the 4K camera, and with the Patreon, and with the book deal, and with I do book tours. I'm the expert. That's what this is. This is a temper tantrum here in slow motion. Look, that's my professional diagnosis with this video. I'm telling you, this is a narcissistic temper tantrum right here is what we're watching, boys and girls. You can look this up and test me out.
Do you want to? Can we call it a 4-year-old? He's having a 4-year-old.
He's that hair, man. I'm sorry, I keep coming back around to it, and it is so distracting. Lloyd, why do you do these things? Why do you do? And the thing is, like, I get it, man. You did the hair to distract from the nose. I appreciate it, but man, you don't look good in a leather jacket. So why would you spend like 700 euros on that? Somebody lit the, what was that? Anyways, I guess that's just that's hearsay evidence about the. Anyways, but it's just like, Lloyd, that hair, man. Why are you trying to do? Why do you hate your audience this much, man? Why do you do this to me? Like anything else I could forgive, but that hair, man, come on.
Oh, it's bad.
That
it
hair.
is. I don't know. He needs some toner. All the women and many of the men, I'm sure, in the chat will agree. He needs toner real bad.
Will the real Lloyd Evans please sit down?
Is
Jesus.
the Lloyd Evans channel under threat? Is it going to disappear? Obviously not. Even in the worst case scenario where something happens to me, the channel's still going to be up. The videos are still going to be there.
What's that mean? I'm sorry.
Really sad for me.
I've just learned you got to listen to the words. I'm just saying, like, this is how a narcissist operates. And if anything happens to me, at least the channel, spin that back a little bit for the Messiah to explain again. I'm sorry.
The channel's still going to be up. The videos are still going to be there for people to watch. What's really sad for me, though, is that over a long period.
All right, we'll get into that. But this business about, I know heaps of XJWs. I know heaps and heaps and heaps of XJWs who've made some really good videos. The one that comes to mind right at this moment is Son of Thunder. Anyone that doesn't know Son of Thunder, please go check out his videos. It's Millhouse Research is one of my favorite videos producers at the moment, and he's got mad Son of Thunder vibes. Like there's something really comparable about the two, and I think the world of both of them. So, Son of Thunder's been gone for how long, Joel? A couple of years?
I think like 2014.
More than 4, anyway.
Yeah, about 10 or so, probably. I would say. Yeah. 10. Sure.
But his videos are all still there. So, I mean, I don't know why Lloyd feels that he's so important, especially that he has to comment and go, oh, my videos will still be here, even if something, it's just dramatic. Please. It's just drama. He's just drama.
I've been working on this channel, and I've built something very beautiful, I like to think, in terms of not just the content, but the people. I have an amazing team working with me. I have Tibor, I have Diana working with me, and only really with that team and with the support of patrons and now YouTube members and with the equipment we've been able to buy because of their support, are we able to produce not just the content that we're making, but
life-saving content.
So that
you want to say it? Come on, just say it. Just say it.
I
Say the words,
do.
Lloyd. Say it. Say it.
Life-saving work.
He's done it in writing before, so that's exactly what he thinks of as life-saving content in his work. His work. Now he's struggling.
The thing that this Wally's point is exactly right. Does he always name drop her when he's in trouble, or is that just a new thing?
No.
Relatively new.
That's a pat. No. That's not a relatively new thing.
In his videos, it is.
Oh, in his videos, sure, but online and in the forums and stuff before. Just saying. Sure. He talks about how, like, if you disagree with them, and I'm just saying, like, in the forums and stuff, he's like legendary for that, right? You'll disagree with Lloyd and he'll come back and be like, do you have any idea how much you've upset my wife? So
it's a case of no, man. It's not everybody else, it's you behaving like a 5-year-old.
So it's funny, like, it just kind of became a joke with, you know, like the inside, I don't know, like, people like seeing this online, and it became like kind of like an inside joke. Like, do you have any idea how much you're hurting my wife? me and my wife, we just think we joke about. So it's I don't know. Like, so this guy's still getting paid to do this. I don't know. It's like, to me, like, I'm starting to see him as like a bad infomercial, like an infomercial come to life gone bad. Yeah, like, that's how I see Lloyd. It's just like, I expect to see him, like, if I come home, if I'm up late, if I can't sleep, I'm sick, it's 2:00 in the morning, and I'm looking for that crazy infomercial. Like, I want to buy that Eureka vacuum cleaner, whatever, that slops, chops, and dices. And here's this guy. Like, I really think that Lloyd, I shouldn't give any ideas, because, like, his next move, I'm expecting him is just to get he'll do something to get a bunch of money together, and he'll go with he'll go for the big grift. He'll do the big dirty, you know. He'll get like national network airtime, and he'll go big with his Patreon. He'll do like an updated. He'll take like the layout of the Russia band video with the sad music, and then he'll like really lay it on. He'll be like, oh, I've only 50 cents a day. Like, he'll really butter it on with the accent and everything. Anyway, I'm sorry. You may continue with the video. I'm sorry. It's just how I see it.
Just quickly to answer Sean Powell and others, the you know, in the video he talks about, you know, having to let Tibor and his wife go and blah blah blah. A couple of things. Diana's a director. He can't sack her. She would have to resign herself. And I know that that's just a technical legal term, but that's the reality of it. He can't just say you're fired and that's it. Like, I mean, he can, but it doesn't work that way. She's still going to have to be, you know, legally compensated for her share of the funds. And the other thing is that I've lost my train of thought.
She's a director.
She is a director. Regarding Tibor, and this whole, I can't do what I do without my team. What a load of bullshit. How many years, Joel? 8 years? Tibor's only been working for Lloyd for less than 2 years, or just on 2 years perhaps. Before that, he functioned, did all the editing himself. Diana has only just started working for him in the last year, other than paying, I think previously she paid bills and paid wages, etc.
Yeah.
She didn't do anything else. She didn't organize videos. That was producer Bob.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I kind of saw that that's where it was going to go, because, like, based off of our first conversation on the phone, he was inviting me to write for his website, and he told me all about his business plan, like, right away. I mean, so this has been on his mind for a while. I'm just speaking from experience here. Like, he looks for people like that are passionate and want to do something, and that get clicks and views and are popular on YouTube, and he'll approach them and say, hey, would you like to write with me? Would you like to do this project with me? Would you like to? And then they just kind of bounce on the same trampoline, and he looks at this. I'm just saying, like, that's what he wanted, is he wants people to, you know, he talked to me about building a network, you know. So I'm just saying that's the mindset, because it's kind of like a business. So I think that explains like everything that we're seeing here, to be 100%
Oh,
serious for a second.
absolutely.
Like that's exactly what this is. So
I agree.
I'm seeing, maybe I'm wrong, but what I'm seeing here is not unlike what you get like a televangelist who, it's like, yeah, I've been busted for something, Lord, but I repent and I still need your money though. And you pay pigs are going to give it to me, because if you don't give it to me, then we can't do what we're doing here. And it's life-saving work. So I'm
Mhm,
saving lives with your money. So if you want to save lives,
mhm.
you're going to give me some money.
Yeah.
And that's really the
There's an
zeitgeist. I think that's like the appeal of what we're actually looking at here on a pretty, I mean, could you make that
That's a
argument in
comparable
court? Let's
scale.
just say it like that. Could you make that argument?
Oh, easily,
Ah,
easily. T. Pedersen, we don't know. I don't think so. My personal opinion is I don't believe that I mean, they may legally still be married, but I don't think they're still married as such as a couple. I don't know. Um, I hope not. My personal opinion, for Deanna's sake, but I don't know. Um, and Parody makes a very good point. After everything that he has done to Deanna, the last thing he could do is fire a person who suffered so much. 100%. Couldn't agree with that comment more. Wally, damn, he never approached me. You feel left out. You're overqualified, Wally, as Joelle said. Let me just quickly.
it's okay,
I'm
Wally.
confused
There's
about
lots of
what's
cults out
happening.
there you can join. It doesn't have to be Lloyd's. It's okay. I mean, you can put your
As
your
in,
powers to work elsewhere, if you ask me.
yeah, Pecky, I don't know. This you've made an interesting point, and I'm not sure that Joel's going to want to comment about it. I assumed Deanna left him, hence the change of location, new hair, weight loss. Is that not the case? Yeah, it is. Well, on what we know, it is the case based on what we currently or knew up until now. That was the case that they had separated. They were doing their own thing. Yada yada yada. That's their business. I don't really. I care for Deanna's sake, but I don't care in terms of what we're talking about today. But one thing that, and this has been pointed out to me so many times, and Joel made a joke about it earlier, is that they make he likes to present a facade of happily married. I've seen some tweets, hashtag Lloyd Gate, I think it's called, on Twitter recently. They've been posting, and there's just time after time after time after time where he talks about my wife, my wife, my wife, my kids.
Yeah,
Joel makes jokes. Everyone makes jokes about, you've upset my wife and things like like he talks about Diana, but in my opinion, it's a sympathy vote to try and get more patrons.
definitely. Yeah. All right. Well, roll that beautiful Lloyd footage here.
Yeah, I just want to say one more thing. I posted Jason says I posted that he deleted. Story
Well,
of my
here's the
life.
thing, and Lloyd won't let you put your comment, your victim blaming narrative. He will not allow that on his YouTube, but we'll allow it here. I'm just saying, like, we're not gonna. If you got hate in your heart, let it out. That's all I'm saying.
Bring it. All right.
Putting out a video at the moment, sort of every day.
I've moved it up to
Sometimes 2
1.25
videos
too.
per day if you count the shorts. So that frequency of content is completely dependent upon our patrons and our YouTube members. And a couple of months ago, I let my patrons know and my YouTube channel members know that we were in trouble, because on a month-by-month basis, it's not just that we're getting by hand to mouth when it comes to paying the salaries and paying the rent for the office and the insurance for the equipment, all of the overheads and that kind of thing. It's not just about getting by hand to mouth. We're actually running at a deficit. So we're running at a deficit currently of somewhere between 5 to 750 euros.
Okay, I'm sorry. I've got to
He's
stop.
running at a deficit. It's all very sad. He can't afford the insurance on his equipment. He said he's in trouble before, and now it's really serious. And I got to just look at the aesthetic here. And here's this guy. I mean, you know, oh goodness, it's been suggested back before, like, who would want to make their life like a professional activist. Like, I've heard people have these conversations, and I've been a part of them myself too, because just because I have, and the thing is it's like, there's really only been like one person who's ever been interested in doing that. And the end result here, like that, the end product of like kind of like being okay, it's like you're on the like the bottom end spectrum of like the celebrity dweeb status, you know, Lloyd. Like, and here you are. Like, I'm just like I'm not trying to be like mean. I'm just, it's just so strange, like what this does to people. Like not having a job. Like, how can you look at yourself in the mirror and like when people ask you, what do you do, Lloyd? You're like, well, I save lives. I'm a YouTube.
I'm
I
a
do
doctor.
YouTube. I save lives. I'm like a doctor. I'm just
It's
like I'm
comparable
like
to a
base. You could compare me to a doctor. Like really, Lloyd. Like get a hold of yourself, man. Like I'm so sorry. Like it's so unhealthy and like it's visibly unhealthy, guys. Like okay, I know everybody's like you're being mean. No, I'm not being mean. Look at this guy's face right there. Look at like how like Lloyd. Oh my god, man. Like why? How could you do? Like, do you watch your own videos, man? Like this is a mirror for anyone, really. I mean, like just have like a moment of inflection, man, and think about like, is this what you want to be doing with your life? Like, you want to talk about Jehovah for the rest of your life, man, and like grovel every time it comes out that you got a hooker, like, and like somebody else like releases something like from your, you know, your phone or whatever, it's embarrassing or whatever. Like, this is really what you want to do? Like, you want to live life beholden to a Patreon? Bro, come
Mm,
on, man. Like stop
mm.
being such an XJW. Like this is really pathetic. Because it's embarrassing. Like is this the number one apostate out there? I'm not trying to just turn this into like a shred session. I'm just saying like there are questions here that this raises for me. And the only way,
Absolutely.
you know, it doesn't make any sense. And it's really kind of like almost it's like it's so many things like it's oh goodness, it's got like that train wreck factor to it, but it's also like what's strange is that he's sitting here like and he's manufactured his own world where he is the victim of everything like this.
Yeah.
He's created this little globe where he's you know he's gonna delete your victim blaming comment, and it's like, dude, victim blaming. You're the one that's making a video, like literally asking for money, like they do on JW.org, and then you're asking for people not to criticize because you've been lied about, and people like lied about you, and there was a defamation thing that ruined your life, but you're gonna win it because your lawyers are still on it. Like, okay,
And I mean
I'm sorry.
Nesbo makes a classic
I guess.
Nesbo makes a classic comment on that.
Jesus.
We've got more coming in than going out. More going out than coming in. So there's a video that Stephen Lett did that it's infamous. He may have not been paying that close attention at the time, but he talks about how there's more money going in than out, etc., etc. And it's classic because when you listen to what he's just said there, it is so similar to it that you could almost hear Stephen Lett going through your head. It is so JW, it's not funny. And I don't like making comparisons between JW and JW behavior, or ex-JW behavior
Okay,
and
but
JW's. But
you no.
it's
Hang on,
relevant.
hang on. When somebody, all right, okay. I'm really trying to hold it together and like not be a jerk. I'm just saying like okay, but when somebody is lecturing you and they're using the words we, things are bad for us,
Mhm.
we're going to have to like what do you mean we, Lloyd? Let's start there. And it's the same. It's just that, okay, I should probably mention that coincidentally, you will find this same language pattern being used ad nauseum by not just the Watchtower, but like any group out there who is trying to pull at their heartstrings in order to get some money and some donations flying their way. You know, JW
Mm.
Broadcasting, you're going to see this. You know, I'm just saying, like that's pretty cut and dry. I think what's happening here, because look at the language that he's using with the we thing. I bet you he's going to
Mhm.
continue to he's going to harp on the we thing. I haven't even watched this all the way through, so okay.
We're going to get there eventually. Will Skinner, welcome to the chat. You are welcome here. Please don't make fun of Will or get mad at him, or you know, if he makes comments that we don't like or you don't like in the group, in the chat, please don't. Everyone's welcome. Don't attack anybody. I hate that shit. So Will, you're very welcome to say whatever you want.
Sure.
And I respect your right to be here. Okay, so we're going to move on a little bit. I have invited producer Bob to the chat. If she's bloody not looking at her WhatsApp messages, can you please get on it?
Per month. And so I put out a call for help 2 months ago, and the patrons and YouTube channel members very, very kindly responded and helped to plug the gap so that we could carry on going for a bit. But of course, the problem with appealing to my patrons is that they're the ones that are already giving, you know? They're the ones who are already giving so much to make the channel work. When I put that video out, most of you who just watch the channel and enjoy it won't have known anything about it. So I guess what I'm saying is,
I'm pretty sure that everybody did know about it because it was leaked. I even saw that one. So just saying, if you're looking for the not begging video in January, I've seen it. I think it's on. Anyway,
It wasn't.
go look for it.
It wasn't. He wasn't asking for money in it.
No, it was a not begging video.
No,
just getting it right.
It was a begging, not
since
begging.
we had all of the turmoil last year with the defamation campaign,
here we go.
The channel has struggled. We've come
Struggled.
back to a degree.
Everyone take a shot every time he says the word struggled.
Things running as long as we possibly can.
See you in the emergency room.
So we can take another shot.
Sorry. Yeah.
The channel has struggled. We've come back to a degree. I like to think we've done an amazing job in keeping things running as long as we possibly can. That's been due to a large extent to us operating very frugally when times were good, before the defamation campaign. Incidentally.
Okay. Well, look, firstly, I've just got to say hello to Paul. Hello, Paul. For anyone that doesn't know, Paul's puppy is my screenshot. Jasper. He's so beautiful. So I just had to say that. Sorry. So this defamation campaign, this to me is bullshit rewriting Watchtower, if I've ever seen it. Watchtower rewriting history. Come on, man. What defamation campaign? I do not believe that there was a defamation. I know, Joel. I'm as annoyed about it as too. What defamation campaign? Joel? Joel?
Yeah, are you there?
Joel?
What?
Defamation campaign.
Oh, me?
What campaign?
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. You have to be more specific about that. What do you mean campaign? Because the only campaign that I've seen is like, well, I mean, I finally joined Twitter. If that is a campaign, I guess that's a campaign. But no, I mean, you know, he's the one that wrote you a letter saying that he's gonna pursue you to the ends of the earth here. So it's just it's gaslighting. Is what that is. It's gaslighting. It's that's just a little strange. I don't think that's a campaign though. I couldn't argue that. I don't know. I haven't seen like somebody like, I mean, like what you wrote about his activities in Thailand were kind of like backed up by what he said were his activities in Thailand. So
yeah,
we're criminal defendants in this either way. So
can we just go one step back? And I'm going to say this very clearly. I never, in my initial statement, I never said one word about him undertaking any activities of a sexual nature in Thailand.
He did.
Fact. Yeah. He said it.
Yeah. You said many facilities.
I never said.
He's the one. Okay. It's a little odd here. Like I don't. It's just. This is embarrassing. I mean, like officially speaking, like that we have to be talking about any of this stuff. I just want to go on the record as saying, like, this is to me, like, okay, Pillowgate bothered me. Like everybody talking about them pillows for 6 months, and it was like, haha, the funniest thing ever. Look at this. And oh, look, another Pillowgate video. Look, I get it. That's how I feel about like any of this stuff, right? I get it, but like nobody defamed you, guy. Like you said these things. You went right for the hooker word, dude. You're the one that talked about prostitutes and sex workers and dating and going to hey, you know, the thing is like you volunteered this to your staff, dude. Like, okay, sorry, producer Bob and Kim Silvio, you started talking to them openly about this whole thing. You just were like, hey, what's up? Just want to let you know I do a lot of prostitutes. Like, I'm not sure how that conversation went, but he's the one that initiated it. And so, like,
interesting. I don't know if you can see it, Joel, but producer Bob's actually here. Do you want to talk, Bob?
Hi, hello
Hey!
guys.
Oh, goodness.
Hi.
We're just
Hi.
trying to...
You can not talk if you don't want to, Bob. It's up to you. I don't care.
No, it's fine. I know I've never said anything publicly myself. I've got my reasons. But I just wanted to jump on and support Kim. Obviously. Yeah, just a bit surprised by the latest turn of events. Can't quite believe it. Yeah.
It is pretty shocking. I just,
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, you know, Bob and I were there at the beginning, and I'm pleased that she's here. And please, Bob, if you don't want to talk, don't feel obliged, because I really don't like to talk. But you are very welcome to talk as much as you want.
Thank you.
So can I ask you guys a question while I have you both here? Okay. Look, you guys are looking at this like you wanted to be a part of Lloyd's activisms, and you guys were helping him back in the background with preparation on the convention, with all sorts of, you know, a lot of preparation work to where right. So by default, this guy has kind of like a managerial kind of position over you guys, kind of like
actually no. When I joined the team, Kim was the team manager.
Okay.
So yeah, I was working closely with Kim really, and I took over the running of social media as well as setting up all the interviews for the channel and things.
And you looked at each other as more or less like co-workers, is kind of how you were
yeah,
things.
well, we initially, yeah, and then we became very close friends. I have to say, from my point of view, there was never a close friendship with Lloyd, just mutual respect. As and obviously, you know, I thought a lot of what his channel and what he said he stood for, which is why I volunteered.
To have a library like he has, I mean, nobody can.
Yeah. So yeah, it was very much a surprise to me when the initial conversation took place that you've referred to, just where he admitted all his private life to me and Kim. I was very taken aback. Well, Kim will attest.
That's actually sure. That's what I wanted to ask you about. Is because I can only imagine, like, that's got to be really awkward. Like, I can't. Okay, so it's like sick. Like, to me, it's like a red flag that somebody would do something like that. If I had a coworker say, "Hey," so I'm just curious, like, because I wanted to know, like, did he just say, "So this is what's happening," or he just like, "So I'm really a big like what was the and why even tell you guys? Was he trying to like normalize it? Because that's one thing that I've noticed. That
well, we've had many Kim and I have talked about that, because we were very taken aback by what happened, and we actually took a couple of days at Kim where we were pretty silent with each other because we were just so shocked. And
he was expecting things to just be normal after that.
Honestly, Joel, I cannot tell you. I don't know, and I still don't know.
Well, no, I mean, I think that you do, because, you know, by the reaction, you know, he describes Kim Silvio as going nuclear. You know, the reaction that you guys had to the information that he gave her.
Well, initially, it was put to us almost like a sort of mental health issue that he had, and when he said he needed time to travel and take some space, we both were supportive of that, which we both, you know, Kim has said, you know, because we thought that's what he needed, and we at the time thought he meant like a week or something. And then when he announced he wanted to go traveling to Thailand, we were like, oh, interesting choice, but you know, whatever. You know, Thailand, lovely. And then of course it all rolled on and got completely out of hand. Yeah.
So
tell me if I've said too much, Kim.
Yes, but it just blows my mind. It's just that, you know, so he
basically say whatever you want, Bob.
But you know, so Kim, I'll ask you, like, what was, I mean, did he, it seems like, by judging by his reaction, he wasn't expecting you to react the way that you did. He was just basically like, this is no big deal, this is how I spend my money, I'm like a doctor. You know, his words completely. Is that kind of like what he was pulling with you behind the scenes, like trying to be like, not a big deal? Like, I tend to notice, well, it's not just me. Look, people will minimize things, and that's always a red flag you have to look for, you know. And he was trying to be like, what? It's no big deal. Like, that's textbook predator behavior right there. And that should be like.
Well, as we process the conversation, I mean, Kim and I have both privately done a lot of work on ourselves after leaving Jehovah's Witnesses ourselves. Anyway, we've been very open. Kim has, and I will say myself, I've had therapy and things with a qualified therapist.
Which everyone should do, by the way.
Absolutely agree. Which obviously it opens up the fact that you can start to recognise when you're being manipulated, or where people are trying to sway conversations in their favour. So we did recognise, when we spoke to each other, we did see that we could see through it, basically. Yeah.
I think the question that, Joel, you're asking as well is, and you've asked Bob, and Bob has said exactly what I think, and what I'm going to say is I don't know. When he told us what he said, it was just like, Deanna's so damn unreasonable that I want to do this, and I'm like, hang on a minute, are you saying that you did that? And I don't really think Bob's indicated to you now, and then to me privately many a time, we don't know why he did what he did. We don't know why he told us. We don't know, but he did.
We never asked.
And
we didn't question him at all. No, it didn't come up. I could not tell you, Joel. Really could not. Yeah.
And so like, this is going right back to the beginning of when everything happened. This decision wasn't made lightly. I was actually, no, I'm not going to say that. So this goes right back to the beginning. And when you think about this defamation campaign that he's talking about today, and like, we were there at the beginning, I failed to understand how he thinks that it's okay to rewrite history. It's a Watchtower thing to do. I will call it out for what it is. Why are you doing that? That's not what this is about. This was about his choices, his decisions, what he did. He needs to take responsibility for that, and he needs to accept that there are consequences. He doesn't have to like the consequences of what happened, but the consequences are his. He is the one that got on the live stream and said, my wife was just not enough for me. Bob and I never said that. Neither, ever.
No.
And we never would have said that. Our goal from the beginning was what, Bob? What was our goal from the beginning?
It was to basically educate the XJW community so they could make their own choices.
And as to keep Deanna out of it as much as possible.
Well, that's always what I thought it was about. Yeah. I mean, it should be, there should be like a conversation instead of like, these dark, subjects that we're talking about right now. It'd be great if there was more of a focus on the mechanism and how that happened, and the kind of like the manipulative techniques that the Watchtower and other groups use, but actually like seeing like real examples of it, I think is pretty powerful, because when you know it, you see it everywhere.
I can tell you now, it was not an easy decision, because it involved a lot of upset and heartbreak behind the scenes and stuff, and Kim put a lot of thought into.
Well, it's an ugly thing that had to happen.
Absolutely. Yeah,
it's
very sad.
Speaking to Kim, about this, and with her background, like, this is a real thing. And the thing is, okay, somebody made a really good point, is that these illegal brothels wouldn't exist if it wasn't for men like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, because where do you think the money comes from? Well, it comes from individuals, and unfortunately, it's like so. But why Lloyd can't understand at least that's I think a valid position that a lot of people have. Instead of saying, well, that's crazy, maybe,
the argument that, it's consenting adults and all of that, which I've heard a few times. That's true if it's a consenting adult relationship, but that's not the case with sex workers at all. As we all know, you can't put that slant on it. They're always coerced into these situations, if it's either poverty or other reasons, such as like pimps and stuff. It's a very horrible, messy situation and life to lead, the vast majority, obviously. So, and I can't imagine for a second somebody in Thailand is doing that by choice, when we know about how poverty stricken they are and stuff.
Yeah.
Not to mention Croatia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like people focus a lot on Thailand and whatnot, and that's
Yes.
fine.
Yeah.
But what goes on in Croatia would just blow your brains. I mean, for goodness sake, what goes on in Australia would blow your mind. There's just recently been a trafficking case here. Excuse me, I get a bit emotional talking about that. So if I'm coughing, it's because I'm emotional. You know, but it goes on in every country in the world. It's not just Thailand. It's every country in the world, and it shouldn't be supported. We have to keep moving on because we're like 4 minutes into this 30-minute video, and we're going to be here in an hour. So let's play a bit more. Then you can comment.
The defamation campaign is still very much ongoing. My lawyers are still on top of it. It's just that the Croatian legal system, I've learned, is glacially slow, and it's probably going to be years before I see any kind of justice for what was done to me and my
Translation. I'm still trying to get them to take me seriously.
Translation, what was done to your family. The facts are the facts. It's a public disclosure. It is a public interest. You claim to be an activist. You're full of shit. And you know what? It's a criminal defamation claim. If you're so serious about being, you know, having your name, don't get up in front of, oh, I'm kicked off, someone call me down. Don't get up in front of a whole heap of vulnerable people telling them that it's not your fault, that something bad has happened to you, and as a result, you're getting punished. Get out there, put the paperwork out, issue the documents that you sent to the court like you said you were going to do. Don't talk about it. Get it done. Provide the points. You say, I'm not required to do that. By law, in a defamation claim, in a criminal case, you are required to put forward what is not truthful. The claim has to be what hasn't. And it's the burden of proof is on the prosecution, being Lloyd in this particular case. In a criminal proceeding, it is his burden to prove what we said was not true. I don't care for him to prove what was or wasn't said was true. I just want him to tell me what I said that wasn't true. I'll start there. Put the documents out, Lloyd. Stop talking shit to vulnerable people, because I've had just about enough of it. Stop talking. Put the paperwork out. Prove to everybody what it is that me, Joel, Kim, Mikey, Mark, Cora, what did we say? And Jonathan Berger, what did we say? What did you give to the court to prove to us, to prove to your people that you're asking for money? You're telling them that it's because of what we did that you are financially struggling. Show us. Tell the world. Don't hide behind this whole bullshit watchtower facade. We're being persecuted, and talk facts. Put it out there. Go on, get it done. I'm going to move on because I'm losing my temper.
Was and is a failure. It was
back up a little bit. Back up
cruel,
just to like 5 seconds.
way of attacking my.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, it was a really cruel, sadistic way of attacking my reputation, and it had the predictable effect of drastically
back it up 20
reducing
seconds.
the number of patrons who support my work, because they came kind of justice for what was done to me and my family. The defamation campaign was and is a failure. It was a really...
What the fuck is he talking about? Was and is a failure. What do you mean?
You got to back it up a little bit. You got to catch
so
it.
Many people.
No, he's saying that people are saying that it's a failure. Like, he's like, you're saying that it's a failure, but it's not a failure. Is literally what he's trying to argue.
I don't understand. There is no defamation.
You got to back it up like 20
to
seconds.
With.
This is why I was trying. Like, this is the point where I busted out laughing. Really, that I messaged you. Literally back it up like 20 seconds, because this is the part that got me. I'm like, okay, Lloyd, whatever, dude. All right.
Okay, we're going to listen to that one more time, then we're going to move on.
This for what was done to me and my family. The defamation campaign was and is a failure. It was a really cruel, sadistic way of attacking my reputation, and it had the predictable effect of drastically reducing the number of patrons who support my work, because they came to believe that I'm someone I'm not, and that I'm somehow taking advantage of them.
So tell us.
What's that something? I don't know what you mean, Lloyd.
Tell us what happened to you. Listen to his words.
What are we not supposed to think about your Lloyd?
The number of patrons who support my work, because they came to believe that I'm someone I'm not and that I'm somehow taking advantage
Tell
of
us
them.
who you are then.
We dropped by hundreds of patrons. And what you need to
I
understand
would love to find
is
one
that when we
patron
started, or when I
who
started
stopped
working
their
with Tibor,
support because of
it was-
something that you said without going to the source and finding out what he actually said. Like, show me these people. I don't think people are that dumb.
But what did I say that was not true,
Well, exactly.
Bob?
Maybe
I'm
the chat knows.
I'm just
I mean, I
at
don't
this
know.
point, Kim, I'm just speechless tonight. I never expected this. I just can't quite catch my breath. You know, I'm sad because there's so many XJW activists around and putting out brilliant content and stuff. And if people want to support them, that's fine. If people want to support Lloyd, that's fine. But it's not down to a defamation campaign that people have stopped their support. There could be many reasons. It could be because of, you know, what's happened and people have decided to withdraw support. It could be cost of living crisis. There's so many reasons. So it's just, I just feel really sad that, you know, it appears that it's trying to blame Kim and the, you know, the Magnificent Seven as they are and stuff for the fact that financially he thinks that it's caused upset to him. I don't know. I just
He defamed himself. For God's sake,
is
the
true,
man
he
defamed
did.
himself. All right, I'm just gonna start reading comments as they come through. By the way, I'm making this rule up. All right, so I'm sorry. Continue. Sorry. What? Can I do that?
Yeah, go.
Right, I'm just gonna bust in and start doing
You know, I know this person who's really good at producing shit, but you know,
I'm retired. The trauma of it
I'll play a
all.
bit more of the video.
because we had enough patrons to justify hiring someone. We actually had 620 patrons at the point when Tibor joined us. We lost more than half of our patrons as a result of the campaign. So at one point we were at over 800 patrons, and then we fell to 300-400 patrons. As of right now, when you add together the patrons and the YouTube channel members, we are on 432. So that's nearly 200 patrons less than, or YouTube channel members less than we had when we reached the point where we were.
We just need to know, Lloyd, like,
we can hire.
How much does it cost a day to support a professional activist?
I can remember telling
just
people,
break it down like that. Like, you know, just let people know for 52 cents a day or whatever it is. Like, just be, you know, I just want some transparency so I can make Sally Struthers videos.
When we drop below 500, things are bad. And the truth is we've been operating at less than 500 combined patrons and YouTube channel members for months now. So the fact that we've been able to carry on this long is, I guess you could say, a miracle. It's not been easy, and it's largely been due to people behind the scenes seeing the problem and stepping in to intervene. It's because of them that we've been able to stay on air and carry on. But ultimately, fundamentally, that's the problem. We don't have quite enough patrons. We need to get from 430 as it is now to at least 500, and preferably for this to be viable and for us to be putting money away for a rainy day, we need to get back to that.
We need to get back to that. We need to do that.
But okay, so he needs to get back to that 600.
Drives me nuts.
All right, he needs to get back to that 600. Yeah. How much money was he in bank when he had nearly 900 subscribers? Sorry, patrons.
Henrietta M. Riley says, Joel, we should be playing PUBG, dude. Where are you? I'm still on there. I can't say what my name is because you guys will get mad at me. It's a gamer name, so I can't really spill the beans and say like where to find me. So you'll have to just do the homework. I'll post it later, maybe.
I know the parody. I happened to see something the parody posted the other day about this whole business of we're not doing well, we're struggling, we're in deficit, da 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 da. I'm not smart enough to be able to play with the. Oh, actually, I wonder if I can. Oh no, I better not do it because I'll stuff it up. On plenty of places, anyone that wants to post it in the chat can. There's a link to a summary of his tax returns for this year. As at the 31st of December, or at the end of the financial year, I think it was 31st of December, I might have had it a few days out, there was 8,000 euros or around that figure in his company's bank account. Well, that may be for overheads or, rent or electricity. It may not have been accessible, usable funds right at that particular time. They may have been, I don't know. I'm just saying that they may or may not have been. The fact of the matter is that they had money in the bank. The way this is being portrayed is not consistent with the way the tax returns were presented to the tax office. So I can't imagine anybody, thank you, Sophia, 8,200 euro. Which in Australian terms is about $16,000, which is a lot of money in Australia. Like it is. That's a really, and also the parody points out that he increased his wages by 17% despite their struggle. So last year, their wages increased by 17%. So, how does that, when you're struggling and you're crying poor, and this is the second or third time, I've lost track now of how many times he said he's, poor, and all of these things are happening, they're not consistent. It's not adding up. What he's saying, and you don't present to the tax office a better picture than what reality is. It's always the other way around. So he's saying, I've got no money, but he's telling the tax office he has got some money and that they were doing well enough that he could increase his wages by 17%. That doesn't add up. So someone can tell me where I'm wrong, because I'm maths dumb. Producer Bob will attest to that. But it's bullshit. So what has Wally said? If you want a real laugh, compare his tax returns against Wally, do you just like to set me? All right, now we're doing a Kimmy rant. Go and check out, if you earn 1,000 euros per year, sorry, I beg your pardon, 1,000 euros per month in Croatia, they deem that to be and I'm quoting, good income. Go and look at how much he earns, and then look at what the cost of, what the average wage and the cost of living costs are in Croatia. And you look even at now, don't worry about how good it was back then. Look at how he, even under his struggle, go and have a look how well off he is in Croatia. Struggle, sorry, apologies to all of those who. This is also another thing that's going to. Why does everyone write shit in the comments that piss me off? He deletes comments in his own videos. I hate that. That pisses me off to no end. It's controlling rhetoric. Go and look at my old videos where he has come onto my channel. I've never done it to him, but he has come onto my channel. Dude, you are doing, Ollie, you're doing it deliberately. Don't, if it's free speech, just because you don't like it doesn't make it not true or your opinion. So I hate that. Anyway, anyone else got anything to say? Because I'm starting to get ranty. I'm going to play the video.
20 figure. And that's really the help that we need. That's the way in which the audience can really step up and help us. We managed to rally. We managed to keep going to this point. And we're now.
And this latest rally, apparently at last count, was, someone put it in the comments, but 24 additional patrons in the last couple of hours.
At the stage where the money just doesn't add up.
Please support my Patreon. Please support my activism. Please, come on.
I'll have to leave.
Please just support my activism. Please, I'll do it for you. I'll do it the right way. Please.
I'll
get on Dr. Phil.
Going to move my studio.
I was on BBC once. Can I have some money?
To essentially my bedroom.
Things are bad.
Which
I need money.
You all know as the attic. That was where I was filming before we moved to Ramacro. Our landlord at Ramacro has been very, very understanding, and I'm hoping that he won't cause us any problems with demanding too much money.
My old landlord, now he's not so understanding. He's always like, "Hey, where's the rent?" And I'm like, but the new landlord,
where I'm going to be filming,
hey, he'll be fine.
And we're going to do what we can to continue with Tibor and with Diana, essentially with the company.
With any luck, we'll still have Tibor.
With the nucleus.
We're in the last days of Tibor. I'm sorry.
Whether we
how it is.
Have a premises or not. And we'll see how long we can do that. But I'm
poor
not
people
lie
walking
to
up
you,
behind Lloyd.
Things aren't looking great, and it could be that I have to dissolve my company it could be that I have to let Tibor go, let Deanna go, and just be doing it by myself. And that would involve, because I know I would no longer have Tibor and I would be editing the videos myself, I would probably go down to like 2 or 3 videos.
Man, I'd actually have to do stuff again.
I think would be
I'd have to do all the stuff myself, and I hate talking about JW stuff. I just want to get paid. I mean, I just want to crap out a book every couple of years and get a bunch of money to sign them. And look, you guys are messing this up for me. Just support me on Patreon and let me just do. Look, if I gotta fire Tibor. I mean, not even Deanna, whatever. If I got to fire Tibor, then I got to edit all this crap myself. I already lost the people that did the convention stuff for me for free, which is tedious. Thank you. I always run out of medication about 2/3 of the way through it. And then I'm just like, well, fuck, this is getting really real now. But dang, I got to get paid somehow. So here we are talking about Jehovah again. Lloyd, look at yourself in the mirror, bro. Look at yourself. You're never, oh man, it is over, dude. You were talking about hers son. Pack it up. Somebody come and get your boy. I'm just saying, look, the guy, you find him, just he's easy to find. Just go to the red light karaoke hour and go get him off stage, and then to like have a conversation with him. Say, Lloyd, I'm your friend. I'm not like the others. You really got to stop this. Cut your hair, stop with that blonde stuff, get yourself a real job. Get off the internet, maybe scrub your social medias and stuff. Assume a new identity, probably be about the best way forward here, to be honest with you. You know, like get a job, get a hobby, something, stop right, you know, but stop. Just stop it, Lloyd. It needs to stop. You need to think about something besides, like, you know, because here's the thing, man, like, you got kids, Sonny boy, like, they're gonna see this shit on the internet about their dad eventually, and like, this is just like one more thing that's like on the internet now. So Lloyd, look, this is the future you chose, bro, and it didn't have to be like that. I'm just saying, I warned you.
And it says here that Terry's going on holidays there in June, so I think that you're the man for the job. Take one for the team, Terry. Go get your boy and put him back in somewhere. My favorite comment of the day so far: neither can I, Mary. He needs to shut the F up. All right, a bit more.
Is every single video that we make has a potential to reach someone. Because if we're just doing 2 or 3 videos per month, great. If that's all we can do, fine. But you never know what particular video is going to appeal to a particular person at a particular point in their lives. So it would be tragic for me if we do need to go to that kind of Helm's Deep position. I guess we're already at Helm's Deep now that we've lost Ramacro, but if we have to go to that kind of final position of me letting Tibor go.
We have lost Ramacro.
Doing it by myself. I mean, if that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do.
Lost
I don't take anything for granted.
God, he lost
if, however, you
terrible.
enjoy my channel, and
if you enjoy his channel, Bindi, you got to get him on Patreon for his work.
There's the join button to maybe think about being a YouTube channel member. There'll be a link to the Patreon in the description, obviously. But I don't expect anything. I really don't expect anything at this point in my life. Nothing is guaranteed. We're all getting by from day to day.
So sad.
There are no promises about anything. So
we're all getting
whatever
by.
happens. I'm basically leaving it.
Yeah, okay, look. Yeah, you don't have to stand there looking that way and telling us life is hard, okay? We get it, dude. Like,
it's a good place to
it's written all over your face there, buddy. Like, we can see that your life is hard. Like, you know, this. It's okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, dear.
Look at him. He's got his hands out looking for that money. He's got his hands out. He wants that money. Oh.
So be it. But I didn't want to just carry on.
Got his hands out.
Change locations for you to all just assume everything's fine, because it isn't. I'm not the sort of man who is too proud to admit when things aren't going right. So I can already
purposely choose a building to match his hair.
He's begging. If you want to interpret it that way, I'm not going to stop you. Nothing I can say.
What does your dog want to say about it, or Joel?
Oh, she's just trying to bite.
It's not that I don't care. It's just that I honestly have the philosophy that whatever happens, happens. This channel will be around. Whatever happens. The people who set out to destroy me and destroy my work will always fail, so long as the channel is around.
Okay, Emperor
Is that what
Palpatine.
happened?
No.
Okay, Emperor Palpatine. Did he
That's-
make a? Dude, he made a Lord of the Rings reference at the beginning of the movie, at the beginning of the clip, didn't he?
There was
Something
never.
about.
I was just going to reply to what Kim just said. There was never any intention to destroy him, to destroy the channel. It was all about freedom of information for the XJW community, so that they could make their choices. The rest of it he did himself when he did his initial video, where he spilled loads more information than was necessary. It was never a campaign. I can't believe it. I'm just gobsmacked. I really am. Yeah.
Ros Williams. I can't take him seriously with that blonde hair. Why? He looks like a relic from a 90s boy band. And all I can think of is Lloyd Bros wants their hair back.
He's a lost Backstreet Boy.
Don't. That's just disgusting, Joel.
Sorry.
How dare you
I'm
defame
really
the Backstreet Boys like that?
trying to.
They are my jam.
Jesus Christ.
She's a mega fan.
Look, he's not cool enough to be in sync. He's just not cut enough. I'm just saying. So
He's not even good enough to be in sync, and they're a disgrace.
I know. Yeah.
All right. Hang on, let me get through a bit more of this
And
video.
so long as I still have a voice, and whatever happens,
I feel like
will
if Pee Wee's
always
Playhouse was still
my
around,
band
like
have a voice
Lloyd
in
could be a puppeteer
It's
for Pee Wee's
literally
Playhouse,
just
and
the
he would
frequency
excel
of
at that. I
content
think if he
and the
just did
quality of
that,
content
nothing else,
that's at stake at this point,
he'd live a happy life.
because there's no way I can do
Just
this volume
all
of
day
videos
with his
to
hand
this
up, little
quality
puppet's ass. I'm sorry.
without T4 and without the team that I have around me. So I guess I'm leaving it in your hands. I wish I had something a bit more positive to talk about, but
He's leaving it in your hands, but don't leave comments that are negative or factual or, that ask difficult questions. It's only comments that are supportive of joining Patreon, becoming a patron, being a patron, giving me money.
Yeah, how much Star Wars do you have to consume to go around telling people that my fate is in your hands with a straight face? Like that's a thing that you say to people, like, oh, Lloyd.
I think a quote. I tend to go through these phases, but I think a quote from the faithful slave is coming. Other than litigation, because he does that very well. But is it not something that he addressed in one of his first videos? And he said, "You have let us decide. You told us to decide, Lloyd. You be the judge. You adjudicate." This is now the third time I know that Lloyd has said, "I'm leaving it in your hands. You decide. You decide." But it's okay for you to decide as long as you only log into JW. As long as you log into JW Watch. I beg your pardon, not JW.org, JW Watch. Just saying, the controlling of the narrative is bullshit.
Yes, that's what I was just going to say.
Put this on the record. I'm on the record. That behavior is taking advantage of vulnerable people because vulnerable people are used to being controlled with their dialogue. When you control the information source for somebody and you don't allow them the opportunity, or you seriously hamstring their ability to find out information and make an informed decision for themselves, that is taking advantage of vulnerable people. Put that on to your lawyer's list, Lloyd. That's right, Kim. I know.
Here, Kim.
I'm going to keep playing. I kick off on a rant.
This is reality, isn't it? Not everything can be positive. I'll leave it with you.
Do that.
And I will update you in due course as to whether things improve. Or
are you going to update us about the litigation?
Whether things are as bad as I suspect them to be. But until then,
no,
please do
they're as bad as you
or even
suspect
joining
them to be.
the channel. And thank you so much for watching.
Something about that soul drained.
This is my favorite part of Lloyd's videos. Finally
Wow, so they actually sing about his video being finally over. Okay.
It's my favorite
I just wanted to pick up on that point that you just said, Kim, about there's vulnerable people and stuff. That is the whole point. The XJW community have come from a restrictive, controlling background. There's a lot of confusion, especially when you first wake up, or you might not even be fully awake, and you're out there trying to find information. these are people that are basically vulnerable. And the whole point of what happened was that we wanted to give people the choice to know the truth about where they perhaps were sending their money. There was no campaign about it. It was just to give people the knowledge, like what people should have, wasn't it, Kim?
Yep. That was 100% what it was about.
That's
Just
what it was
so people
about.
can make an informed decision.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, Bob and I were the ones that were going to have to live with the guilt. Say, for example, if it eventually came out somehow or other, and these things tend to happen, and people, you know, turn around and say to us, well, you were working so closely with him. Surely you must have known. And around that time, we would have definitely left the team anyway. That was our short-term plan, was to leave once he got through the crisis anyway. And what are we going to do? Say, oh, yeah, we did know, but, you know, bad luck, you assholes don't deserve to know because it's every man for himself. How would you feel if someone was waking up out of the organisation and turned around and said that to you?
Yeah.
Can he stand the man? The voice. I did that just in Terry's accent. Can he stand the man? If anyone's got any questions for producer Bob, I'm sure Joel does, but if you do, put them in the questions. And
I saw a comment earlier from the parody, and he asked if we'd ever been compensated for anything we did. The answer to that is no, and we never expected to be. That wasn't the purpose. Well, it certainly wasn't my purpose for volunteering to work with Lloyd. So just to clear that up.
Yeah, same for me. It's on the record. It's been said before. I am aware that there was an offer of financial remuneration for certain aspects of Mark O'Donnell's work, but I also of the understanding that Mark O'Donnell never accepted any of that money. That's my best recollection. That's my best information. If that's not true, if Mark did accept money, then I'm unaware. But I certainly am of the opinion that Mark did not accept money. So, yeah. I'll tell you later, Terry. I'll tell you about Bob later. She's from England. That's producer Bob. So Joel, what are your overall thoughts now that you've watched the whole thing?
I just think that you could just kind of like see the pathology written on the face. I mean, I'm trying to be serious right now. It's just that it seemed like the way that he was in front of the camera, his eyes, I mean, it's like there's something wrong. Look, humans have this funny thing about themselves, right? When there's something wrong with you on the inside, a lot of times like it can be visibly apparent on the outside. It's science. And that's kind of what I see here. And just, I don't know, like there's something wrong with it's going to do something to you, I think, if you can't look yourself in the mirror at a certain point. And he's really backed himself into a corner with the Patreon thing, and like, you know, building his life around, which I'm sorry, a lie. I'm going to go ahead and say, because one thing I wanted to ask you, Kim, real quick before we go, and I don't know if this is a real quick before we go kind of question, but we were talking just a couple of, what was it, last week, about a detail, just something that we thought about. And the implications of that one little detail are pretty big if you think about it. Kim, are you able to talk about what that one little detail was that had you said feeling sick? Just curious if you can even talk to that.
Yeah, so somebody was posting about Joel, I can't remember what the post was about. It was something to do with about moving to Croatia. Yeah. And the recollection and what's been said by Lloyd isn't consistent with what I had been told. But there was another story that was posted. I don't know who posted it, but it was posted by Marco. And what Marco had said
back in 2017.
This is going back in 2000.
Yeah. So these are details that we were given in 2017 that only just have been given like real meaning like last week.
Yeah, so it was something that I had just seen for the first time that Marco had posted in 2017. Someone posted it on a forum somewhere. I don't know where the forum. I can't remember the specific details, but when I read what he had written in the post, what Marco had written, that aligned with what I had been told by Diana about moving to Croatia. And so I was like, hang on a minute, how could that person have known that back in 2017 when I'd never told anybody what Diana had told me? And so I was confused. And then I asked them, hang on a minute, what was said? And then they told me what Lloyd said happened in Croatia. And his rendition of the story doesn't account with what I was told by Diana. So I was like, it was just a really weird moment for me where he'd said one thing, I'd been told something else, which has happened before. Like he's publicly said things that privately is not what happened. But the thing that threw me was the fact that in 2017, somebody else had said what I believed to be true. And I thought, well, how would they have known that back in 2017? Unless they were there, unless they were like me, directly involved. So anyway, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. Long story short, if just because a part of this chronicle is the whole Marco whistleblowing side of things, and this actually gives that whistleblower a really strange amount of credibility. How could this person have had this kind of detail back in 2017? Unless this guy knows what he's talking about. So
it just really, it struck a chord with me. Yvonne makes a really good question. A point. Even when prostitution is legal, e.g. in the Netherlands, it's still coercive. The bosses just take advantage of all the benefits available. This is so fact. These are vulnerable people. Even if it's legal, not legal, regulated, not regulated, there's issues. It's just not the way Lloyd portrays it. Oh, I was consenting out of blah, blah, blah. What a load of bullshit. You're taking advantage of vulnerable people who are CSA victims, who are this, who are that, who are all different types of, vulnerable. It's just bullshit. And on that note, there is an organization who I've started following and supporting. Exodus Road is on Twitter. They're a fantastic organization. They're boots on the ground activists who are in there helping individuals. And yes, they can't help the whole world. They can only help so many people, but the more people that can support them to support the work that they do, the better. You can follow them on Twitter. They've got websites and whatever else, but it's called the Exodus, EXODUS project. If anyone's got a link to their Twitter thing, they chuck it in the chat because I'm hopeless. But they are very good and they do good work. And if you want to know about them,
share it too. Sure.
Pardon?
Yeah. I'm just saying, post it on Twitter and I'll share it too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Sure.
So, they're a great organization, and they, if you want to know more about, this vulnerable people business, and you want to know more about what the real truth and the facts are, that how ignorant Lloyd is about what he says about people who are sex workers, go and look on their website, go and follow their work, go and look at their information, go and see what I'm talking about. I didn't talk publicly about it at the beginning, but years and years ago, I had experience in a legal situation that involved vulnerable people and trafficking in Australia. I've seen it firsthand. I know what it's about, and that's why it was so shocking when it first happened. And Bob will attest to the fact it fucked me up mentally really bad. She will attest to it. And so, go and check it out. Check out their work. And that will clearly show you. If you don't believe me, that's fine, but go and check it out for yourselves.
But Kim, I got to actually check out with you, but I'll be listening and in the live chat here for the next little bit. Thanks, guys.
It's just, thank you so much for joining.
It's insane. I mean, you asked me what I think about it. It's pathology. I mean, you could just see it visibly. I'm just saying, like, I don't think he's still gotten therapy. So just like, my skin crawls. Like, I'm just glad I'm glad that ain't me. Like, that's kind of how I feel about it. Shit, man. So you guys take it easy.
Ciao. So is there anything else? Oh, I feel like I've hijacked you, Bob.
Ooh. Oh, I know. I stayed up for you. You know what I'm like.
So how are you going? Are you good?
Oh, I'm good. It's Easter weekend here in the UK, so I've got Friday and Monday off. Fab.
Same. I have every Friday and Monday off.
Oh, yeah,
What I'm
of course you
saying,
do.
same.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, everyone in the chat, I don't care if there are people here that are supporting Lloyd, they're welcome. Please don't pick on them and attack them, because that's not very nice. And I hate it when people do that to me. Yeah, is there anything else you want to say while I've got you here hijacked?
No, I just wanted to come on because I wanted to support you. I just was so stressed this evening when our friends shared that video. So yeah,
I gathered, because you were like, I know you don't ever come on
No, I
live streams,
don't.
and you don't ever speak. I
No,
don't
I
think
don't.
anyone's probably really ever heard you speak.
No, I don't think they have. No, you're right.
So when you started talking, I was like, oh, Bob's
Yeah,
upset. So,
I know. I just I'm just when I thought life was calm.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It is pretty sad. It
is. And I don't wish any upset to Lloyd or his family at all. Never did. Never wanted that. Just wanted to say that as well. That wasn't the point.
And it was never to embarrass Deanna. Like, we'd never,
not at all, not in a million years,
would have said, we would never have said, she wasn't enough.
No, not at all.
Like, that was horrible. I just think this whole thing is so sad that there's a campaign. Yeah.
Yeah. Very sad.
Yep. All right. Well, unless there's any other questions, Bob and I are going to bounce. This has been a bit disjointed, but so was that live stream, and I just had to get on the show and laugh, because if I don't laugh, I cry, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm cranky or I think it's funny. I just think it's a joke. And yes, Sophia, he did straight up lie and said he needed the money. He had 8,200 euros in the bank. That is true. Yeah. All right. So I'll say good night to you, Bob, and I'll say good day to all of the Australians. Thanks, Joelle.
Bye, everyone in the chat.
I think it's Australian as well. Good chatting with everybody. Look, if anything in this video has upset you, please send me a private message on Twitter. I'm more than happy to have a conversation. You can leave comments. I won't be, regulating my comments in the chat. But if something has upset you, triggered you, any comment that's been made today, please reach out for mental health support. If you can't find mental health support on the phone, go to your local emergency services, because I understand some of the things I talked about can be triggering. Please, you don't have to fight anymore. So, reach out for support if you need.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take it easy, everybody.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.